It's alive already. Wow, that was fast. That was really fast. Well, yes, it's alive. Hmm. Oh, there's an ad. Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. What's up? Hey, what is up, guys? It's DMB Universe. This is a Friday stream because like as I said, I'm just going to do Friday streams from now on. And if things happen to change, I might switch it up a bit and maybe do other streams on other days for like special purposes. But yeah, that's basically it. Just expect a stream every Friday, at least hopefully. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. The everyday streams were for a purpose. I was kind of in a financial situation, and I wanted to spread the word out there, and it helped a lot considering that we got enough money just like very fast for from the deadline. And since that's gone now, we don't need to do that. Friday streams are good because it lets me allow. It allows me to tell you guys what happened throughout the week and like certain things I've got done, and hopefully you'll be seeing throughout the next week. So these sort of things can be more structured, and if you have a question or something like that you've been saving up, then this is your chance to say it. That sort of deal. Yeah. Not to mention Friday helps out with a lot of people, at least in forms of staying up late. However, with me in timing, I just suck. Thanks to a random person. I don't know what time periods time zones other people are in, so I'm gonna be inconvenienced to somebody on the planet. But as for me, it's just like whenever I actually get a chance to do a live stream, I can't really like. I don't know how to really like address it. Not everyone follows my Twitter, and not everyone like is on DeviantArt or something like that. I can't just put out a mass message and say, "Hey, this is when a stream is coming." I just sort of just started and just work with whoever shows up. These streams get posted out on my channel, so if anyone was interested in anything that even remotely was inside the stream, they could just watch it. Yeah, the finance thing was definitely taken care of. Golden Sand Slash, I was happy immensely. We were a little bit under. It's not like we actually, destroyed it or anything like that. I only asked for the minimum amount of what was required of me to do to help my parents. But thanks to Tim, one of the like financial guys over at the school, they said even though I should be kicked out by now. I should be out of this building. But since we showed effort and did everything we could with the amount of resources that we had on hand to show that we want to stay in this college and we want to pay off what we needed to pay off, they saw our determination and kept me here because they know we're gonna get the money eventually. So not only thank you guys, but also thanks just good people in the world in general. When you see someone giving it their all, you kind of throw them a bone, and that's what they did with us. So in what order are you gonna do the reactions we suggested? The order is going to be flip-flopped. I will try my best to just do it down in the row itself. Basically, all I could manage to get done is about maybe 4 or 5 things from the list. Another complicated thing about the list is that a lot of the list is like TV shows and series of anime, which takes up a hell of a lot more time than standard like reactions to fan-made stuff. I got through like season 1 and season 2, season 1 and 2, no, season 1, 2, and 3, I believe, of Friendship is Musical. That's why I think I did. I have some of the videos here if I can just ignore the chat for a bit and just take a look, because I have videos done, definitely. I have all of season 1 of Rick and Morty done. That's done. Friendship is Musical has at least 2 videos up, so I think that's either season 1 and 2. Maybe I did not get to 3. There is one unlabeled, so I guess I forgot to label that one. I did get to certain extras on other like fan made stuff, but that's about it that I could get done throughout this week without having to try to fix my bike again. That's a rant for another time, so I'm not going to bore you with how I'm not gonna try to censor myself pissed off I am about what happened with my bike. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See, when it comes to me trying to plan things out, I know for a fact that it's not gonna go the way I plan, so I just kind of deal with it. So just for bottom line purposes, something happened with my bike that took up most of my time period throughout this week, so I wasn't able to actually get to reactions as fast as I wanted to for my free time, if you know what I mean. So I'm sorry about that, even though it was not my fault at all. Let's see. I can't do anything funny. Hello, Luckless Longshot. Do you think you'll do a reaction for the new DuckTales show? That's like way down the list at this point, guy. If I'm actually gonna go at least do 3 episodes of the series that people have told me to do on my list of reactions, it's gonna be a while before I get to DuckTales. Hi there, hi. What would you do if you didn't have hands? I'd probably just give up on life then and there, because without hands I can't draw, and if I can't draw, I can't do the one thing I exist for to myself. So if I can't do that, I might as well just give up, like literally not care about what happens to me or what happens to anyone around me. If I can't draw, I'm not doing anything else. I've already had no, I started when I was 6. A lot of years of experience trying to do this whole drawing gig, so if I fail now and my hands are gone, I might as well just give up. I can lose my left hand and be okay, but if I lose my right, I might as well just give up now. That's been my motto, or my crescendo, or whatever, if something were to happen to the one hand that helps me. If something does happen to my right hand and I still got my left, I would definitely try to train my left hand to draw, but no. I don't want to live a life without the one thing that I cherish. In forms of me trying to make a living of myself in this world. Hello, shipping is magic. Are you excited for RWBY? Yes, of course, and it's almost here. It's almost October. Heck yeah, I can't wait. Yet another thing on my plate to remember that comes on at a frequent time period and hopefully get to fast enough for people to care. But if it's gonna be like anything like last volume, the whole first membership thing, need to make sure that it's on YouTube before posting up anything. So yeah, that makes sense. Don't worry, I'll be sure to do that. Because if I remember correctly, I still have my first membership, but I don't use it for anything. I'm just trying to give them my money, just for no other purpose than just so I can give them $5 every month or something. How are you doing with Little Witch Academia? I said this earlier, something happened with my bike that pretty much took up a vast majority of my time during this entire week that I had off from school. Thanks to that, I wasn't able to get to much of anything besides Rick and Morty and a few short reactions. So me and Little Witch Academia, a anime of my own time that I watch, is definitely something I couldn't be able to get into, sadly. What's your favorite Weird Al song? I've always been a fan of Polka Face, mostly because it's like a bunch of his parody songs put into one, just with a polka theme. Like, I did like his, like, old Michael Jackson parodies of Fat, Eat It, and that sort of deal. Those were always good. But, like, Amish Paradise is like a sleeper hit for me, because it's like, that one always comes into my head, along with, Virus Alert, and Everything You Know Is Wrong is basically just a classic for Weird Al. Like, almost every Weird Al song I pretty much have to say I like, except for that one song where he's basically just ranting about stuff in a random... It's like he's ad-libbing an entire song. I don't know the name of it, but I couldn't keep my attention up long enough to listen to the entire thing, even though I love Weird Al's voice to death. Also, the Milo Murphy's Law theme is actually pretty cool, too. Dude, gotta thank you. Me to pick up Boku no Hero. Yeah, I'm happy that I'm able to help people get into Boku no Hero Academy. It's great. It's a great series. What about Love Live Sunshine? Again, it's been a while. It's on the list. If it's around here, I can immediately like pull it up. I think I remember just stashing it somewhere. But yeah, I got pretty much the entire list on hand and getting to it one reaction at a time. But this sort of thing takes priority. Things I just can't get to. Yeah, right now I do not have it. I think it's because I changed up my setup a bit. But yeah, I'm definitely getting into it. At some point I'll get to it, and 3 episodes will come out of that. Also, thanks to like long-term posting my reactions up on my Google Drive, I'm starting to run out of space on my first one. So luckily I had a second one on hand, and I started to pay another monthly payment ship for another 100 gigs. Now I know what you're thinking. Why not spend like, I think it's $30 for a terabyte? Well, I'm already like sunken money as it is, so paying $30 a month on top of the fact that I'm paying on also $50 a month for my phone bill and other assortments of things that I'm paying for a month for a monthly basis, not to mention all the other Patreons I've been supporting. Having all those things pile up on my salary that is already like really flimsy to begin with is going to be hard to manage. So I gotta work with the 200 gigabytes that I have with that Google Drive, and sooner or later it's gonna pile up to the point, whether it be this year or next year, it's gonna pile up to the point with all these shows that I can't post up on my YouTube YouTube account, and I'm gonna have to either delete something or find another way to do it. And before you start suggesting to put things on Dailymotion, Vimeo, and stuff like that, I need to first start off by making 15-minute videos that can elongate the time frame where I can do things. Because I tried to post my Rick and Morty reactions on Vimeo or other places, but they didn't accept them because they were over 15 minutes long. So I need to plan that out before I even try to think about using other sources for people to go to. It's hard. We'll get there. Consider yourself lucky. At least you didn't get your bike stolen and never found out who, because school camera was facing the wrong way. Yeah, I have scenarios like that. I had like 4 handheld systems in my time, all of which got stolen from random circumstances by random people, and they couldn't find them because either the camera was in this position, that they didn't have cameras in that position, or they just didn't care enough to give them a check because they didn't care about me. All that sort of stuff is there. I once got beat up because they thought I stole one of their friend's bike when I was living back in Houston. Almost got beat up, but they threatened me saying, hey, that looks exactly like my friend's bike who got stolen. And so they're like, they threatened me. I was terrified, but thankfully my sisters were around, so they helped me out. That's the one good thing about having like over like six sisters around. It really helps in a matter of protecting you. I have mainly 5 sisters, but I count a 6th one because the stepsister also counts. So yeah. As for like my current bike, no. For me, I would rather get that bike stolen and probably have to save up enough money to get another one than paying $500 for the bike and then paying another $300 to $400 just to get it fixed, where I could have just saved up another $100 to buy another brand new bike. Because this is ridiculous. My current electric bike right now, the only way they could fix it is by breaking it. And the way they broke it is that the ignition to it wouldn't start up the battery. So the only way to have my bike work so I can use the battery is so they could break the battery and make it only turn on. It's always on now. So sooner or later the battery is either gonna overheat, do something if I don't take the battery out so it can like not do that. So right now it's a struggle for me on a bike that I had for 2.5 months. My mom wanted to give the company an earful because companies like that, I don't know if anyone ever told you this, but companies that do this whole laboring system, $80 an hour, always fight your price. Always fight your price. Don't be passive aggressive like how I am. If you're passive aggressive like how I am, they're gonna take advantage of you and take all your money. I went in there, I went into the bike shop to get my tire fixed. A week, and throughout a span of a week, I had nothing but electrical problems. Last time I checked, when someone gets their bike in just so they could get a tire fixed, and then there's electrical problems, that's not usually the person who drives off with the bike's fault. Especially if it just involves random cases where it just doesn't start up the bike. So clearly it was the people working on the wiring system with my bike by fixing the tire that messed up the problem. So with me being a passive aggressive douchebag, I just let them walk all over me and have to pay over $200 for something they took 25 minutes to do after taking 2.5 hours just to figure out the stupid problem. So I'm really pissed off. So thankfully I watched some Rick and Morty to get me out of that fix and really let my child safety light go out, because I was really ticked off. Granted, now I still have my transportation to get to work better besides walking and using my old bike and calling an Uber that will cost me over $40 to $50 just to get there and back. But still, it doesn't mean I like the fact that my bike is currently broken to be fixed. Just learn to draw your mouth like a pony. Yeah, no, I can't do that. I can't even draw with my feet. And that's technically like a pseudo hand if you know how to use it. What's your favorite food or drink? Fried chicken, and I don't know what my favorite drink is, but I think water. Favorite drink's up in the air. I don't know what my favorite drink is. It could be anything, really. You can draw with feet, I guess. See, I already said I can't draw with my feet. I tried. Trust me. No, I'm thinking right now. I care. They're from yeah. Oh, but those no. It's a lot harder than it looks. You must train my I've actually drawn a smiley face with my afro. If you're wondering how I did that, I just took the pencil and kind of like stuck it in, and also tied it a bit to make it like really like. And I really just drew a smiley face. People were actually kind of impressed for stupid reasons. Share fan art. Is there a way to share fan art of you? If you don't have a DeviantArt, you can send me like a share link on like a Google Drive if you have a Google Drive. Like post it on your Google Drive, take the share link, and then send it to me via like comment or something like message on my YouTube. That's the best way, I think. That's the only thing I can think of if you don't have a DeviantArt, and just like mention me as a mention in the description. That's all I can think of. But yeah, that's the best way I can think. If anyone in the comment in the chat right now has a better way he could do that, tell him. Learn telepathic. I can't. I'm not that smart. I think you need to be smart to be telepathic. I just remember he had a brief appearance in that one episode of Voltron, the one where they're in an underwater planet. Yes, actually, it was actually really funny. It was really funny how he shows up, he talks, and then I'm just there with my dumb looking face, and then like Josh and Tyler, we watched that we watched that when the new seasons come out. Josh and Tyler, they're like, "Why are you looking like that?" And just like, he sounds familiar. It was like The Devil Is a Part-Timer dub all over again, where I pointed out Harima's voice actor and Hanai's voice actor. I'm like, that's Weird Al. It's like, it's scary. When the banana guy showed up in Adventure Time, I knew it was Weird Al. Anytime Weird Al gets a cameo appearance, I almost instantly find out it's Weird Al. When the wizard guy shows up in Gravity Falls, or was it Gravity Falls? Gravity Falls, it's Weird Al. It's like, all the time. It's great. I love this man. Which is better, dogs or cats? In my personal opinion, cats are better than dogs, because when it comes to dogs, they need to be walked mostly because I had a bad experience with dogs. It first started off with having an intense fear of dogs when I was growing up, because I got mauled by one. Not mauled, but like he bit my arm and kind of like shook it a bit, which traumatized me when I was a kid. And then I was afraid of dogs like heavily. But when I had cats around with my grandmother, I got my few scratches, but most of the cats just kind of like laid on my lap and just kind of snuggled with me whenever I try to go to sleep. So the experience with both cats and dogs were kind of like one-sided in forms of which was better to me when I was growing up. And then, like, granted, I had dogs that I truly loved, and I loved it when one of my dogs, one of the dogs back at my real home, before coming down here, like runs up to me and like is excited to see me, and that's always a good feeling. But when the cat does it too, yes. When the cat also is like running to you and jumping on your chest and digging its claws into your skin, you feel the love and the pain, but you also feel the love. So yeah, since I had a cat that basically kind of acted as a pseudo dog in its own way, sure, if you put a leash on it, it's definitely not going to comply. But if you have a cat that is just as excited to see you back home as a dog would, you kind of can't say that cats are just lazy know-abouts that just do what they want all over the place. It's the type of cat and how you raise it, really. So, so yeah, cats for me, mostly because of that experience. Also, for cats, you just feed them like once or twice, and they're pretty much good for the rest of the day. Dogs, you gotta feed them like 4 to 5 times, and that's just my experience again. You know, not every dog is like that, and that really damps in the price range to taking care of one. Yeah, I answered cats already for probably another stream, but it's always good to reiterate for people who don't know, and also put up a better like understanding of why I picked that answer, just in case I didn't explain it before. Endeavor. Can't say I don't want to see Endeavor punched in the mouth. Trust me, there's a lot of people that want to see Endeavor have a lot of things done to his face. It was one of those crazy rebels that wear squid in their heads. Looking for... Yeah, I know. You don't have to continue pointing out the Weird Al thing. I got it. Trust me. But again, knowing me, I'm like really, really far back on the chat, so y'all probably already know that by now. Looking forward to your reactions to the Equestria Girls Summertime Shorts. Yeah, I got that done too. Sooner or later, that's going to come out. I'm going to see if I can try to get it out on Sunday. Maybe, but yeah, I just have to edit it. I just have to edit the stuff in, and that's it. Again, I'm missing, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm missing 2 of the shorts, and those being like musical based, so if anyone knows how to get in touch with me on that, I mentioned it in the reaction, so just in case someone got it on that, and because there are just those 2, I think it's like the fruit shake up thing, fruit shake, whatever, with Applejack, and there was another musical one, I don't really remember the name of that one though. But it was another, like, purely music-based one. Can you not delete the videos? Delete the videos to what? Like, did you say something about videos beforehand? Hold on. Ruby Volume 5? Yeah. Are you talking about, like, my other Ruby reactions or something? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to understand what the delete the videos is referring to. If you have time. Looking forward to your reaction. Yeah. If you punch Endeavor in the mouth, you will be burned by his flaming mustache. It isn't out of all things out in Endeavor that I like, it's just design. I mean, I thought it's always been like, if you have a fire dude, it's usually his entire head is on fire, his hair is on fire, or something of the attributes. I never actually seen a character with literal fire as the hair, as his facial hair. I found that amazing. On your Google Drive that no one watches videos on your Google Drive that no one watches. That's just it. I don't know what videos that they don't watch, because I'm always afraid that once I delete that video and then get rid of it, people are gonna be, I get like 1 or 2 comments being like, hey, the link doesn't work, or hey, where'd the link go? Why can't I see the video? So I try my best to keep every single thing I've ever posted on my Google Drive up still, just in case, you know, there are other people who missed out. There are still people watching my old Gravity Falls reactions of the first Gravity Falls, few episodes of Gravity Falls season 2 that I posted on this channel, meaning that no matter how old it is, people are still gonna go to it. So if I put that on my Google Drive, and deleted it, people would not be able to see it. And I'm doing my best to make sure any person who comes on my channel is able to see any video that is currently on my channel. That's been pretty much my goal. I've been trying to delete all the unnecessary stuff, like some of my classworks that I got done and no longer need. That's definitely been the thing, but they only take about like a couple of gigabytes, megabytes, just megabytes. I'm not looking for a winner, just for sake of action. Bendy and his pal versus Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, again, when it comes to like both Marvel and DC characters, if you go way deep into their lore and how far they get into their series, they become god tier at some point. Even the most pathetic of characters become the god slayers of their verse, with one or two couple of exceptions of certain characters. But I believe Ghost Rider is one of those guys that can probably take on Bendy and his pals, considering that at this point they're being outsmarted, beaten, and overall just not taking out one dude with an axe. So it's like right now, if Ghost Rider had to fight the guy, what's his name? Forgot the creator's name. That guy with the axe. I'm pretty sure Ghost Rider would win. Who would win in a fight? A bad Goku cosplayer or a flower with a bow tie? Definitely a flower with a bow tie, because if we're referring, which I know you're not, but if I'm gonna refer to the bad Goku cosplayer as me, which I was at one point at one Halloween, even though during Halloween it's more of a costume, it's not a cosplay, but let's just go with it, okay? And there was in fact a flower. It did not have a bow tie, but I tripped over said flower and bust my lip. So yeah, if it has a bow tie, that just gives it more credibility of beating me. Hey, sad and awful, embarrassing stories by Do You Want to Be a Universe, thanks to your weird comments. I like cheese. That's great. Cheese is good. Unless the cosplayer is determined, the flower wins. Has determination, the flower wins. I did not have that much determination. I did not believe that I was a very good Goku. I don't want to answer that question. Do you want a bit of shadow? I don't want. I just don't. That's it. Basically has a Coca-Cola addiction. Favorite drink is water. You're not wrong. In fact, you're definitely not wrong. When I was growing up, I drank nothing but water. Actually, water was just like cans of Coke for me. And until I started to visit my grandparents a lot, my grandfather loved Coke. In fact, I think he's the reason why I like Coke so much. Like I grew up on cans of Coke thanks to my grandfather, who no matter what you said or did, my grandmother had diabetes. And that was because she had like a lot of sweets when she was younger and started to grow up. However, my grandfather has been drinking Coke since the dawn of Coke. I would even suspect when he was younger, and to this day, until he passed away, he did not have diabetes once, and he was older than my grandmother. So I mean, he even had more of a time to gain diabetes. So I'm actually impressed on that matter. So out of all things, I'm impressed that Coke hasn't given me diabetes at this point. But yeah, but water was just my secondary drink. If there was no Coke around, I drink water. If there's Coke around, I drink Coke and then drink water on like another basis. But I drink no other drink really, like unless the occasional lemonade. But that's it. Is she offended? Oh, JK. What did I miss? Not much, just random questions. I don't know how long these Friday streams are gonna last, because right now this Friday is one of the boring times where Josh and Tyler have nothing else better to do than to sit around and do nothing. So that gives me opportunity to do reactions. But since it's Friday, I need to do a stream so I can get your questions and stuff out of the way and tell you how my situation is and how pissed off I am about the world. So pretty much you could say that. Like right now, when it comes to like anime and shows, if Weird Al like guest stars, I will probably know it's Weird Al. If like a Harima voice, the dub of Harima or Hanai voice actor is there, I will immediately pick them up too. I think along with Naruto's voice actor, and definitely the person who voiced like Sasuke, because he's like almost everyone in the world. So he's basically like Tara Strong of dubbed anime characters. Leave because the game theories are it's their life. Oh, the game. Oh, game theory is live. Oh man, that's another. Oh yeah, I forgot. Game theory does go live on Friday. That's fine. Again, you have fans of personal things. I don't blame anyone for leaving or not. These are just streams just for me to give you guys some stuff and to let you know I'm alive, and also let you know that I'm trying to keep myself sane. Uh-oh, your shadow's moving. Oh And again, that's what he does. He does his thing. No. You know how many shorts these are, right? Because they're like 16, including those 2 that came out last Friday. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure I do. If there was anything that I missed when it comes to like the new ones that came out, I got them too. I've been watching the official MLP YouTube channel for like religiously. I'm pretty sure I know I have all of them at this point. Again, when the ones I can't get, I don't have them. Like I have a main list right here if I can just immediately find it. Because summertime shorts, along with just the shorts in general, like the initial ones I did in the initial reaction is 14, at least in terms of there's 14 shorts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do not have 8 and 9, but I do have 10, 11, 12, and don't have 13. And do have I do have the other one. It is that it's part of like a same video. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no 9, 10, 11, 12, no 13, and 14. As for the other 2, I have another ones right here, being which I labeled 15 and 16. So yeah, I gotcha. See here. How would you react if someone decided to put you as a boss in the indie video game without informing you? I'd be perfectly fine with it. I'd find it really flattering. As long as my afro is somehow a undodgeable attack, then I won't care. It's like I slam my head to the ground and then you just have the afro encompass the screen and then you just take damage. You don't instantly die. I'll give you a chance to live, but you just take damage. My Hero Academia Season 3 has been announced yesterday. That's sweet. Again, when it comes to, from what I said in my reaction to Bakugo's Origins or whatever, I like to call it just All Might versus Bakugo and Midoriya reaction. I'm only going to react to the episodes that I wanted to see animated from the manga. The series on itself is just phenomenal, so anything. But I haven't been say, let's say one comes out this week and I watch it, and then I just stop paying attention to it until like multiple weeks go by, and then I binge watch them. But until I get to the actual point where I want to do a reaction to it, that's how my life is right now with My Hero Academia as the show. Yeah, even though they probably like really enhanced certain scenes that I probably took for granted, I'll get to them eventually. But like for the main things I want to show my reactions to, because man, this show deserves it. Yeah, I pay attention to that. I've had a really interesting live stream yesterday of playing the new Bendy chapter. Yeah, I did see that. It did show up on my feed. I still need to get to that, actually. May I say, it's still visually interesting. New chapter is the gameplay is this one quite relentless. I like how throughout each chapter they get more and more interesting in the mechanics. I guess I can't wait until episode 5 brings to the table, if that's not the case. Can't wait to see how they're gonna resolve this whole Bendy thing. Unless they're gonna be like FNAF and never actually give you a straight answer on anything they ever show, thus making it go on forever, but also be very annoying to certain people. Yeah. Did you read the latest chapter of My Hero Academia? Came out today? No, I have not. If you actually, here it is. I can just pull up on my phone and see, make sure if I did or not. What if Coke still had cocaine in it and they lied about removing it? Maybe that's why you're addicted to it. That's not possible, because here's the thing about cocaine. You would go through withdrawal if you don't go through it for a while. And throughout my entire life, I did not have Coke for an entire year last time I checked. And I didn't care about not having it. I just like the taste of Coke because it just makes me feel better whenever I have like a long day and stuff like that. And that's really the reason. I know people say this a lot when they have an addiction, but I can literally stop whenever I feel like it. And since I see no negative connotations to actually having them, I don't see a reason why to stop. So Unless I get like an informant of my doctor that thanks to Coke I'm getting diabetes or something like that, then I'll stop. I don't want to hurt my body as much as I think I am. So it's like, that's fine. I may joke about, oh, it tastes like dying, but it's really not doing anything to me, as far as I know. So until I'm told otherwise, Coke is just a drink that I enjoy. So let me enjoy my drink. It's not like I'm drinking friggin' alcohol and smoking cigars, which I find really stupid for whoever does that. It's not like I'm calling you stupid. Calling any person who does that sort of stuff stupid. I just find the drink and the actual cigarette and stuff dumb in design. It's like there's other ways to remove your stress from a scenario. I've been doing it for over 20 years now. I'm pretty sure you can do it for even longer because I know you're stronger than me. You ever do something awesome by sheer luck? Yes! There was a time I was on my bike, my old bike, in my old neighborhood. And for some reason, I don't know what happened, but I hit a bump and the bike flipped. Like, I flipped in the bike. But instead of, like, tumbling and hurting myself, I let go of the handlebars and stuck the landing. And then the bike just kind of still flew a bit and then landed on the ground. And I was like... That was awesome. Nobody saw that though. But that was awesome. I thought that had to be the highlight of my entire life. Just like, I don't know what the bump was. I think it was like a roadblock or something like that. A road bump, a speed bump or something like that. And I just wasn't paying attention to it or something. But just that entire scenario of me just letting go, falling to the ground, landing, and then having the bike just land in front of me. That was epic. Another thing would probably be with my afro. I actually really did like underestimated a turn, so I turned so much that I fell and just hit the ground like that, and I just got up, dust myself off, got my bike, and just got back on and kept moving because I really didn't feel a thing. For all those people saying wear a helmet, wear a helmet. You don't need to wear a helmet if you have an already pre-built one and it's way lighter on your head. This thing works. It works. It saves me from concussions regularly. Alright. I stopped being a fan of MatPat, sadly. A lot of people have, due to like certain things he's been doing. I understand. I mean, there's a lot of people that I stopped watching due to how they changed up their formats on something like that. I'm still technically a fan. I still watch some of the live streams that MatPat does, and I only watch the theories that interest me, and not every theory he brings out. But yeah, and not to mention there's other good things on the Game Theorist channel, like Culture Shock. That's Gaijin Goomba is still a joy to listen to, along with that crazy dude who overanalyzes the hell out of everything. Since I know it's like part joking and part trying to just be smart to be smart, is why I enjoy it. But like Gaijin Goomba is always a joy to listen to when I'm trying to draw or something. DuckTales. How many people are going to tell me to react to DuckTales? Yes, I know. DuckTales is going to be a fantastic series, like any other series that anyone has ever told me to react to ever. But it takes a while. It's going to be like the new Undertale thing. People are going to constantly tell me this thing until I publicly address it upon the world that I know of this thing and show visual proof that I do. I get it. I want to watch the show too, but I don't have time. Are the two missing is Shake Up and Conky World? Let's see here. Let's go and see. I have Makeup Shake Up, a photo booth story, Raise the Roof, what? Girls Steps of Peps, Mad Twiants, Sunset Shimmers, Monday Blues, Crusher Girls Special Part 2, Pet Project, Subs Rock, Girls The Art of Friendship, the Art of Friendship, the Counterlot Movie Club, Leaping Off the Page, and Crusher Girls Epic Fails. The other two I do not have the titles for, however. that is out of that, you know, out of that folder. It has something to do with juice. Oh yeah, didn't they just make it a new theory on Rick and Morty? I did see that there was a video that said something about like how Morty was gonna kill Rick or something like that. But since I know nothing about the series, even after watching season 1, right now my current stance is I don't see why Morty would want to kill Rick, and I wouldn't see why Rick would want to even try to attempt to murder Morty. So until I get to season 2 and season 3 and see how their relationship dynamic conflicts with one another, I can't really agree with that statement at all, no matter what the theory holds. Especially with Evil Morty still being a thing now. You know, considering not just now I'm getting into season 2. So I don't even know how Evil Morty's even, like, used. Chloe or Max? I think I answered this question, like, I don't know how many people asked me this question. Max. I don't like Chloe. I really don't. I know Chloe fits a dynamic for certain people, but Chloe for me is just, ticks me off. Like, before the storm. Her power is to be a bitch. it's literally her power. Just be so much of a douche to a person that you win an argument. I'm not like, that's not my personality. I either don't get into arguments, period, or I just avoid the problem like Chloe clearly jumps into the problem. I feel for her for losing her dad, but she doesn't have to ruin everyone else's life around her with her life being ruined. That's my problem. If anything, I gotta agree with MatPat on when I saw their playthrough of it, is that, yeah, she is a koala. She is a definite koala. I didn't even know what koalas really were going through that until I had to do that, until I saw what koalas were actually going through. Like, yes, dude. So Max, at least Max, while her personality does conflict with a lot of things that I also go through in life, at least she had a nice personality to it, and her own future past sort of pseudo self by the end of the game kind of roasts her about using her powers. I'm like, yeah, I think myself would at some point want to argue with myself of what I did, which is why I like Friska so much in Homestuck, because Friska is one of the only characters who roasts her past self. She roasted her and then left. And I thought that was awesome. And took her girlfriend too. That was awesome. I was like, okay, that's weird. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say to that. Are you a JoJo character in disguise? Yes, my stand is Shadow Me. It's named Shadow Danzo or something like that. His special ability is being able to mimic my movements and pretty much have no other abilities aside from that. Clearly, I am Dio level. Also, have you ever watched Overcomer animated shorts on YT? I don't believe I have. Swear to God, if I had my list with me, I could probably write that down, but I don't, and I don't want to waste time trying to look for it, because for some reason it's not here. Chapter reaction for a live stream? Let me see how the thing, because I am interested in what happens next, definitely, if I can find where here it is. Hold on. Yep, okay, this is a new one. I think, yep. I don't think I can do a reaction like this. Like, no. Wait, no, I think this is something, yeah. Yeah, I already read this one. I need to update it. Wait, no, is the latest chapter 153? Yes or no? If the latest chapter is 153, I do not have it yet. And if it's 154, I do not have it yet. Because 153 I did read. Even if Bendy doesn't answer much at the end, I'd be glad to at least end this in a definitive note. I don't mind. I don't know. Yeah, those cartoons were brought to light. Leave something. If they are going to leave things up to interpretation, make it easy to interpret what they were trying to get down, instead of, you know, many different theories that counteract one another and have a bunch of plot holes all over the place. Is he ignoring my comments? I don't believe I am. What exactly are you saying? Like, take you over MatPat any day? Yeah, I just didn't. I believe I acknowledged the compliment. I don't believe. Like, here's the thing with the whole, like, comments being read at comments being read in like a particular point, it's very hard for me to get every single one down in the sense that I'm going as fast as I can, because I could spend like a whole 5 minutes on one comment, and that could probably throw off my groove on maybe I'd probably skipped one or something. But yeah, I appreciate any sort of like compliment that anyone gives me. That's amazing. And even though MatPat has tons more subscribers than me, having one person say I like you better than him does hold impact. Trust me, even though I'm a big MatPat fan. Well, I can't say big. I'm now like sort of like small to medium at this point. Do you think Voltorbs are bad because they were born to explode? I don't think they're bad because they're born to explode. Look at Bakugo. He was born and he was technically born to explode things, but it's how the Voltorbs are used to explode things is the problem. If Voltorbs were used in the war and they were used as like landmines for people to mistake a Pokeball for, and then just stuff like that, then yeah, that's bad. But if they're just hanging out and then someone throws an apple at one just to blow up a wall, Pokemon Snap, then yeah, clearly it's not his fault that he was meant to explode. It's kind of like creepers. Their lifespan is so short because their whole entire purpose is to walk around and explode things, but their life expectancy is really low thanks to that. Eventually, not too far from the end right now, but I feel like, yes, I'm jinxing it. He is actually. Okay. Could you draw a stick figure with your afro? Yes, I probably could. If I can draw a smiley face, which is just a circle, 2 dots and a lot, and like a C, a C that's on its back. I'm pretty sure I can draw a circle with a couple of lines on it. It'll be very poorly drawn, but it will be a stick figure drawn with my afro. I can't see why Morty would kill Rick. All will be revealed in due time, my boy. Like, that's not a good thing to tell me, Juan44. It's not, because considering that I'm just now getting into season 2, you're just putting it in my head that sooner or later that Rick is going to do something to Morty that's going to make me say yes. So instead of saying that and putting that in my head and now I'm expecting it, I would rather just keep my interpretation of Rick and Morty having this pseudo good father-son-esque relationship where they see each other as they have faults, but they see through their faults. So now I'm just expecting Rick to always be this huge asshole that I did not want to expect. Now you got me having a negative connotation on one of my favorite characters of all of the show. So I'm gonna just take that comment as a way of saying, okay, I'm gonna put in some false information into your head, because that's what William does. He did this all throughout my MLP reactions, of whether it be like the titles that he randomly came up with or the random things that he said. But Will always knew how to keep spoilers away from me by giving me bad, good-sounding spoilers. Like a bad, good-sounding spoiler for like Naruto would be, Hinata dies in front of Naruto, and Naruto turns into the full 9-tailed fox and beats Pain. So I'm expecting Hinata to die, but that's not exactly how it goes down, and I was shocked and just relieved to death that he was wrong about some of the matters of the fact, and still kind of proud on the matter that I kind of just took it on face value, and it was like that. So right now, I'm going to take that as that, and just not think about Rick being some sort of an asshole to Morty. Because that right now, it's like a thing I don't want to happen. I see them as an actual good relationship in the pair, even though they clearly have their own faults, one being a maniacal genius, while the maniacalness only stems from the fact that you can't really read his movements, and Morty being a pathetic, actually kind of cool guy, but understands when he has to take charge in a matter. I understand the dislikes, MatPat. I can see a bit of original charm being lost. The thing I don't stand is those channels that seem to only criticize those other people in content. Yeah, a lot of people that I saw like on YouTube complained that MatPat does like a ton of Five Nights at Freddy's videos. But here's the thing. Here's my counter argument to all the people complaining about the Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Five Nights at Freddy's videos, despite what you think, was an entertaining bunch of videos that he made. They were actually pretty well thought out, with actually good set pieces and animation put into it as well, with good editing, and he was actually pretty funny in certain scenarios. He flip-flopped on a lot of things, but another good thing to also point out with the Five Nights at Freddy's videos is that he even points out that a lot of people have been blowing him up on Twitter, Facebook, and all the other social medias to do the new FNAF video. And yeah, popular demand takes control of the lesser demand, so him getting the Five Nights at Freddy video out of the way can give him more options to do other things. So since Five Nights at Freddy's isn't coming out every other month, thanks to Scott Kaufman, he's able to do other theories. So for anyone complaining about the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, think about the big picture on why he had to make those and how he made those. It's not like he just threw a bunch of stuff together and did no thinking. When he pointed out the whole clock thing, I was like, that's well thought out. I never even got that. So you really got to really think about how MatPat does. I still admit that he definitely changed in both his format and all the other stuff that he's been doing. So I'm not going to be like his white knight and say that nothing's wrong with what he's doing. But I will not like sit back and let people just dog him because of like one set of videos that he barely got done. And don't even get me started with the whole Undertale thing. That's like not even like supposed to be a problem, and people made it a problem. Latest chapter is 154. I'm updating my thing that I use to read the chapters, and it's not showing up for me apparently. So no, I cannot do it now. Usually it gives me like an update saying that it's out on that thing. I could go online, but I don't trust those sites that allows me to read mangas very well. Last time I did it, I got like a pseudovirus. A pseudovirus is like a thing that just constantly pops up, but it's not hard to get rid of, kind of thing. Toga Midoriya, or Toga and Twice. I see, the obvious thing to say would be Toga and Midoriya, because unlike Twice, Toga likes Midoriya. Even if it's like a very huge... It's not a yandere. It's not a yandere. Hold on. Because a yandere is a person who would kill another girl for her senpai. Yangere? I think it was... Hold on. Yangere? Yeah, yangere. Yangere, also referred as cute and psycho, is a Japanese term used to refer to normal people who suddenly become violent, sometimes due to a past trauma. Yangeres are very similar to yanderes. Both are people who suffer from personality disorder and can easily become violent and extremely dangerous. However, the difference for me when it comes to a yandere, like a person of Yuno goes insane if someone messes with Yuki and stuff like that. That's if they mess with Yuki. However, for Toga, who to me is a yangere, will be cute but also be a psycho and would not be afraid to kill Midoriya, because I think that's her overall goal. She wants to kill Midoriya so she could become Midoriya. So there is no actual love thing. She just likes seeing him hurt, which is more of a satanic way of thinking about their relationship. So if you want to go with like a mutual friendship that might blossom into one day being an actual love relationship, Toga and Twice is definitely up there, considering that Toga is not maniacally insane whenever she gets around Twice, considering that they actually have some good chemistry together. But like Toga and Midoriya, Toga would kill Midoriya if they're ever in a relationship. So talking to me, luckless, don't know. I mean, it seems like the content of those people is just for the purpose of relentlessly bashing those other YouTubers, just for the crime of maybe being wrong, not really offending others. For MatPat's videos, his theories, so that alone already shows that you shouldn't credit them in any other thing besides it's just a thing that he just thought of and just thought it would be nice to put out to the world. Just because he put in a lot of information that may or may not be wrong. I granted, when he did the Phoenix Wright is a criminal thing, like Phoenix Wright was like the main bad guy of the series, I definitely watched the crap out of that one. And then, of course, I pointed out a lot of things that he got wrong and hated the fact that he shoots himself in the foot about the whole legal system not working the same way in the USA, but working in the way in Japan. And Phoenix Wright is set in Japanifornia, basically a combination of both the American culture and the Japanese culture of the legal system. Not to mention, the prosecutors, almost every one of them, throughout all the games, has at one point withheld a piece of, a piece of the crime scene just so they can spring it out on us. And so what does that make? How does that make Phoenix the bad guy when every other person does it too? In fact, if Phoenix doesn't do it, he would lose most of his cases and innocent people would have been thrown in jail. So like that sort of thing didn't click with me very well. But I didn't like bash him for it. He just made a theory that just didn't hit home with me. So I just stopped caring after a while. But that's just how this whole entire scenario is going out. Since there's a lot of like videos that people are not very fond of, they kind of hit him on that for it. But you really have to just take a step back, realize it's not that serious, and go on with your life. Easier said than done, apparently. I see now that the circumstances of one's birth is irrelevant. It is you do gift of life that determines who you are. Mewtwo. Yeah, I remember Mewtwo. He's basically, you know, really awesome. Even though I know at least two other people before I heard Mewtwo say that, because that's just like common knowledge. Yeah. I see how the circumstances of one's birth is irrelevant. It's no matter if you love him or capital H-I-M. Just put your paws up, because you were born this way, baby. Just, in my opinion, yeah, if I'm born how I am, I'm gonna use my life how I feel like it and what benefits others. Basically putting. But people need to realize that it took Mewtwo until the end of the movie to say that. While some people can kind of think about it and just automatically get it without having to start some sort of a revolution. So I love Mewtwo, but you gotta point that out. That's cool. This Pokemon aren't meant to fight. Not like this. Not like this. Pokemon aren't meant to fight. Not like this. Definitely. They shoot themselves in the foot sometimes too. Sometimes they have some pretty good philosophy-like things to say, but then you have that line that will never die. Was that really a spoiler? I thought you mentioned seeing theory of Morty about killing Rick. My bad, dude. No. When I saw the thumbnail of Morty killing Rick, I just couldn't think about why they would do that. I wouldn't watch a theory of Rick and Morty when I knew nothing about Rick and Morty at that time that I saw the video. But since you're saying it like that, then clearly it's a lot more abstract than I think it is, so it's fine. Even I can be spoiler stuff, yeah. What if I tell you lies are about future episodes of Rick and Morty, with also telling you spoilers half the time? I would not accept that, because I'm a thinker. At some point, I will think about what you say and probably put two and two together. And all those times I played the Ace Attorney series along with the Miles Edgeworth stuff and like any series of When It Forms of Phoenix Wright, it made me think a lot on very minuscule things, like the first case to Spirit of Justice. Spoiler alert for Spirit of Justice for those who play. But the first case for Spirit of Justice, you're given an image of a box, and immediately when I saw that the box had a clearly distinct thing as an indent on it, I'm like, and a certain thing that you got from one of the cross-examiner guys, one of the witnesses. As soon as I saw that it didn't like act as a key initially, I'm like, what happens if you put it in like the little indent that's clearly like an indent? I'm like, oh, look at that, it was the thing. So it's like, yeah, I think about things a lot, and while being the first case, it's something that you just, you know, immediately like you pick up on. Just when I was hyped about just telling to pay attention to Garnet and something to come with her. Yeah, I think I remember that. How Garnet being a fusion and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it's okay to say that now. Wait. Garnet being a fusion and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it's okay to say that now, considering, you know, it's been so long. You should know it by now, really, amongst all things. So yeah, anytime you give me like a sliver of a spoiler, I will take it to heart and think upon it. It's not like I want to, just that's how my mind works. I like to think about things that might lead to other things, even if it ruins the experience when it shows up surprisingly. That sort of deal. Spoilers is revealing information and events that happen in an episode, movies, and game you haven't seen. I didn't know that. What'd you say? Spoilers. Like, here's the thing. Here's my aspect of spoilers. Anything that allows you to think too much on something is a spoiler to me. The spoiler on face value definition is saying something that someone doesn't know. Like, let's say Like Luke, like Darth Vader is Luke's father. I can say that now because it's like common knowledge at this point. But back in the day, if you said that, that's like really a big spoiler for people in Star Wars. So that's a huge spoiler for someone who has not watched Star Wars. However, like for this case, it's like if you tell a person that I'm currently thinking that Rick and Morty are gonna have a fantastic relationship, and someone says, "Oh, you just wait, man. That's all gonna change." And then as soon as someone says that, I'm like, great. Now my aspect on these two characters has been warped to the point where I have no choice but to think of something bad's gonna happen in the future. That's a spoiler to me. That's a spoiler to me. If you change my view on something with mere words on what is going to happen later on, that's a spoiler. Unless it was supposed to be like a fake spoiler and trying to make you think otherwise, and then us have you be surprised that it didn't happen, then I'm okay with that. Because it's still technically a way you don't know what's going to happen. Because you think you're expecting one thing and then you're subverted to another. I found a YouTube channel. Have a cursor short 8 called. All right, I'll hold on. I'll take that and look it up later just in case he has the videos I'm looking for. All right, got it. Okay. Seeing what happened in the last presenter, do you think that Toga and Twice will become the anti-heroes of My Hero Academia? This, to me, seems more likely for Toga. Do you think she'll... Harley Quinn? Toga's a very complicated character, and this is not just because she's maniacally insane and a psychopathic killer who just wants to see Midoriya in pain. This is more on a matter of just... You can't tell what she's thinking, period. Even if she was a sane individual, like how she pretended to be a sane individual when she was pretending to be someone with her quirk and that sort of deal. It's still very hard. It's like, I did not know what Toga's quirk was, but when Midoriya was fighting the one chick, I'm trying to be as vague as possible, in the hero licensing exam, and he was fighting the one chick, for some reason, in the back of my mind, I thought it was Toga. Like, I just kind of just felt the feeling. For some reason, why would this random chick be like all over Midoriya for some reason when they pretty much had no actual other contact with one another? I'm like, and then I just figured out what her quirk was right then and there as soon as I actually took her words at face value when she first came to the Mr. Handface guy, to join the Villains Alliance and stuff. It's like, I got it. All right, that's her power. And as soon as they revealed it, I'm like, called it. All right, but like for like her Harley Quinn status, I can see both Twice and Toga being like their own personal unit, maybe. But I also wouldn't be shocked if they go back to Mr. Handface guy. And I think I actually kind of know his name now, but I like calling him Mr. Handface guy because, dude, the hand got off his face once. He's like, oh God, no, please put it back. Oh God. So he's got an obsession with his dad's hand. I'm already guessing. So yeah, when X do Y and revealed. Okay. Also saying that there's gonna be a reason for those statements is overhyping and it's bad for spoiler itself. And that's why I mentioned this. Some people have different meanings of spoiling. But it's fine though. At this point, Steven Universe hiatus is killing me. I don't know what the news is when it comes to that actually being lifted. But hopefully it comes out soon because my lord, I'm waiting for Steven Universe as well, and it's killing me how we still haven't gotten any new episodes. Like, period. It's like, I'm hoping until the end of the year. We still have a good few months before the end of 2017. But I don't want to wait until 2018 to get like 5 or so episodes of Steven Universe. It's way too long from the last time. Way too long. Wait, does it change? Whoa. Say that. It. You find it. Definition. Spoiled. It's kind of sad. I'm saying this. I'm kind of not expecting Steven Universe anymore. There's some hidden gems, pun intended, but they're underwhelming. I get that. I get that too. The problem with Steven Universe, if there's ever a problem with Steven Universe, is never really the animation, the storytelling, the voice acting. It's just the fact that it takes so long to make, and this is no fault on anyone else besides just how the show is made. You can't really blame the show that the only way it's this good is because it has this much time dedicated to it, or how much time is actually being like showcased here. But yeah, if it was like, granted, I would rather this and have Steven Universe, having Steven Universe. And by the way, I think I need to point this out. Joanna 44. What I said was not me repeating exactly what you said. I was just saying something to as like an example of what it was, how it felt to me. However you said it made me feel that that's the way you said it. Even if you said it completely different, even if you said this and that didn't even pertain to anything that I said, me seeing it like that already warped my mind view thanks to my brain constantly overthinking things. That's what I meant by the whole overthinking status of someone telling me something that pretty much either confirms or tells me something else. Okay? It's nothing about what you said. I could go back all throughout the live chat to say exactly what you said, but I'm trying to give you a good example about how the spoilerific tendencies of what people say during those moments of what they think they're not saying spoilers, it happens. So I didn't want to say anything because I just wanted to drop this subject because I really don't care anymore. And hopefully by the time I do get into season 3, I just forget about this entire confrontation, which usually happens in this sort of stuff. Because, you know, the best way to forget spoilers is to forget them. So, yeah, but that's pretty much all I got to say about that matter. As for the Steven Universe thing, yeah, I'd rather have Steven Universe happen like this, where good quality is put into it and actual thought and dedication, and you feel the love coming off of it, than Dragon Ball Super, where every other episode feels as though they just threw a bunch of stuff together with the littlest amount of effort they could possibly do just so they could get a good quick buck over the fact that Dragon Ball as a brand is the most popular thing in our country thanks to its, you know, popularity. I don't know if this counts as a spoiler, but you asked if anything in Rick and Morty intro actually happens. Answer is yes and no. Most of it, yeah. I actually answered this myself during the actual reaction. As soon as I think I either mentioned it in episode 3, where hepatitis B I think pops out and he just roars at Morty and the girl. I was like, okay, in that case, then that means certain things in the intro is gonna come to pass. And then I say, and I forget which episode, but I remember saying, I don't think that the intro where Rick jumps into a portal and leaves Morty to be mauled by these two other things is gonna happen, because I don't see how he's gonna get like out of that at all. But I can probably see the Cthulhu thing flying for its Cthulhu baby and the ship. I can see that probably happening and other stuff. But I don't expect everything to happen from the intro. I just like the fact that they do like show some stuff from the show that come from the intro. Miles Murphy's Law X Phineas and Ferb crossover is coming very soon. Really? I was expecting that. I was really expecting that. I'm happy it's actually a thing. Nothing I hate more than to watch my little video feed and see just me spazzing out, thus having me to also look at myself looking at me spazzing out, which leads nothing. I hate it. Ugh, I hate it. Miles Murphy's Law, Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. Oh, hey, Genesis, Genius. Have you seen how Cartoon Network treated Adventure Time? They had new episodes on the other day, and there was no really. Oh, as for advertisements, like Cartoon Network is definitely not what it used to be. That's obvious. But the fact that they're not treating other shows with enough love and dedication as they're treating Teen Titans Go definitely ticks me off to no end. But actually, there is no but. They really need to get their shit together. Like, that's all I gotta say to that. I'm actually really disappointed in Cartoon Network. Channel 64 was the Cartoon Network channel back when I was growing up. And I always was like, it was Channel 64, Channel 30, and Channel 31. Those were the channels I always went to, because you had Channel 64, which was Cartoon Network, Channel 31, that was Nickelodeon, and Channel 30, that was Disney Channel. Those three things were my those three channel numbers were my childhood numbers. And now, looking back on that and just seeing, and just having to go back in time to my old self and just like say, sooner or later Channel 64 is gonna be just a number that's just gonna leave your memory and you won't care about it. And the thing that used to be like quintessential to your childhood with that number means nothing now, because one, they are not who they used to be, and two, Teen Titans was never good. Oh god! And then I'd warp my little boy mind and probably stop existing, because I think I'd probably give up on life then and there. During the tournament, after Bakugo and Yurika fight, Bakugo was going up the stairs when he ran into Midoriya. Do you think that Bakugo was going to their nurse's office to check on since I can't think of any other reason why he would want to go up there, I can't really say no to that. But I also can't say that you could say that that Bakugo would care that much, because right now I want to believe that the Bakugo I see in the manga, and we got to develop a lot more in the manga, was always this type of Bakugo since the very beginning, and we just haven't been seeing it because like the camera wasn't on him when he did have those sentimental moments. But here's my question to that: if you believe that Bakugo was going to see Yurika, if Yurika was conscious and he walked into the nursery, he walked into the nurse's office, what would he do? Honestly, like, what would he do? If he goes to the nurse's office and he walks in, what would he do? It's like, if Yurika was conscious, what would he do? If he was going there expecting her unconscious and she was conscious, what would he be a dick? Would he try to subvert the fact of why he was there? Would he try to be tsundere? Or what? Or would he try to look into the window and just see if she was alright, but what if he's seen? It's like, the thing about Bakugo, I don't understand whether or not he doesn't want to be shown weakness in any way when it comes to caring for others, or he just is a very complicated individual and his mind is just so warped on the matter of being nice. I don't know, but I can't say no to your theory that he was going up there to see Yurika, so I can't say no that he did, that he wasn't going up there to see Yurika. You see, sometimes charge. Can you? Anyone has your original reaction to Bride Discord? I've been asking that, I think, for a while. I've either had no responses, had people who had only had a few episodes, and whoever does have the full thing doesn't know how to really give it to me. Team Universe. Oh, and I meant the Bride Discord thing if I didn't say that out loud for Storm Shadow. Sorry. Steven Universe, the king or queen of the most bizarre schedule of the Cartoon Network. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much the queen, because right now I don't even see much about what Adventure Time's been going through. Like for Steven Universe, like new episodes in general. Yeah, I gotta say they're the king, since they have such long hiatuses compared to be. Usually the things that have long hiatuses until you see another few episodes is usually anime. But you have a show on Cartoon Network that gets more hiatuses than one of my favorite animes. That's weird. It's hard to. Yeah. You see, that's the other problem. If you wait too long for something, you can have hype for. It's kind of like RWBY is great because you kind of get a new volume every year. Kind of like the same thing with South Park and stuff like that. They come around every year. And so you have something to look forward to, and things they left is like really good. Even though Steven Universe doesn't take like an entire year to get new episodes, at least you don't get like 5 to 6 episodes, and then they just kind of leave you hanging with like things you really want to know. And the things for like RWBY, they leave you off at such a good cliffhanger that you can think about stuff, and you can actually wait for it without having such anticipation hurting you. Because right now, every time Steven Universe ends, it feels like they cut off in like a very pivotal moment that I really want to see more stuff happen after that moment of the aftermath of that, and it's hard. That's okay. Disney has renovated their image in 2010s. I think it's for the better. Yeah, it's definitely for the better. I do believe out of the three, Disney Channel and I think even Nickelodeon are starting to get better. Cartoon Network is actually, I thought Cartoon Network would never have to get into the state where it actually had to stop being an idiot and actually know what it meant to be a Cartoon Network, start to be Cartoon Network. Sure, they had a phase where they thought live action stuff was a good idea. Granted, I watched maybe a couple of those things, mostly because Andrew WK was like an actual singer I used to listen to, so I thought the Story Build a Story was entertaining until I realized that almost every single episode is exactly the same as one of those weird reality shows that just kind of get boring after a while. And then they realized that was stupid, and they just brought back cartoons, and now it's just this. By your perception and visual thoughts in each series. Yeah. Honestly, the closest Cartoon Network got to improvement is Teen Titans is airing another season 5. Yeah. I remember watching, I forgot the YouTube channel, but like talking about how apparently Teen Titans Go saved the old Teen Titans. I believe that in two different senses. I believe Teen Titans Go saved the old Teen Titans because the thing that's happening right now on TV, re-showing the old series now, that's good. But I also believe it saved the old Teen Titans by having it be way better in comparison to Teen Titans Go. Because I could not believe this after watching a bunch of Teen Titans Go episodes just to see how bad or how mediocre it could be. I actually had to watch some of the old series just so I could get that bad taste out of my mouth, sort of deal. It's not terrible, but definitely, when I saw Raven doing things I never thought Raven would do. Hold on, it's buffering. Oh, jeez, stupid live stream health. Okay, hopefully. Sorry about the randomness. The stream just doesn't want to feel like to tell me when or not it's working. So once you're seeing this, hopefully it catches up. But yeah, I had to watch the old Teen Titans because after watching Teen Titans Go, I just had to watch it. See here. I know that here he said Yurika and Midoriya are most likely gonna be endgame, but hypothetically, if they don't, who do you think the two of them would end up with? Like, I don't know. I've always had this thing for Midoriya and Sue. I thought they were pretty cute together, but like, comes to Bakugo. Bakugo needs a character who can handle his, like, overactive personality. Because he seems like the biggest of male tsunderes of male tsunderes. Like, the biggest. And that's saying a lot. So I really can't say. I'm not a matchmaker. I can't really be giving matchmaking questions. Especially when I don't know everyone's exact tastes in another person. Like Headphone Jack and Electric Boy, yeah, that's like an instant. Okay, yeah, I can see those two. They have some sort of chemistry together. But like for Bakugo and other people, it's like, not a very good dude. You're on Inner World. Is it bad that I think because you deserve a lot more views and subscribers, but on the other hand, I don't want you to get a whole bunch of bigger because time to read all the comments. Yeah, trust me, I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm only having like 12 people on my watching thing right now, because if this was up to 100, I'd probably be here forever, like literally forever, because I'd be too nice to try to read everyone's comment, despite being like, you know, I have to have, it's a counteracting feeling. I want everyone to feel included. However, I also want to not be here forever. So yeah, I'm fine with the current small streams. In fact, I'm happy with the current small streams. In fact, I'm okay with only having small streams for the rest of my time here on YouTube. So with if I ever get more subscribers and they happen to show up for these streams, that's just going to be the day that I'm just going to suck it up and realize I'm going to be sitting on my butt for a while. Because I just can't do it. Yeah. Second. Yeah. Oh, and Amadius, thanks for the $1. Like, really, like, again, anytime, even if it's like 2 cents from a random person, if they just give me random money, I just have to thank them because it's not expected at all. The difference between the Samurai Jack wait and every other thing you had to wait for was because you thought Samurai Jack was canceled and it was never coming back. I was really under the impression that last episode I saw of Samurai Jack was the end of Samurai Jack because the original creator or something along those lines stopped with the production of that, and just like, okay, that's what happens with series. Some series don't get completed. I get that. So I just took Samurai Jack out of my mind until I saw, boom, new season. Then when I found out Samurai Jack is still alive, then I kind of got ticked off that it took a while for it to finally come back. But here's the thing about Samurai Jack: when it came back, it made sure to end, so you don't have to wait a ish long time again for like a next season after another 2 or 3 years. So again, it's really about the perspective of how the show is supposed to handle. Because, in a way, for Samurai Jack and how 50 years had passed when the final season came by, it felt as though those 13 to 13 years that went by, it's kind of like you kind of felt that with Jack. You kind of just went along with him on his journey of waiting a long time to finally get back what you wanted. And look at that. By the end of it all, you got what we wanted. The end of Samurai Jack and the defeat of Aku and Samurai Jack back in his time period. I was like, okay. It was a good ride. It's a real quality. People find it disappointing. In 10 years, when undoubtedly all current cartoons end up able to maintain quality or recurrent ones, storytelling, or end up fumbling in repetitive plots with no originality. I think it's going to be an endless loop of cartoons with great stories and lots of production time, and then when you get that show that's just for the plain stupidity that's actually done well still in forms of actual comedy, then we'll get that age again, and it's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because I remember when Doom, the new Doom came out, people were praising on the fact that it's just a game where you pick up and shoot things. Where every other game is like really story heavy. You have to sit through a bunch of like cutscenes and random stuff you don't really care about if you really think about it, if you're just shooting things and having fun. And I was proud of that. And I actually have Doom right here. It's actually in my PS4 right now. And it's a fun game. Sure, there are moments where you have to sit around and wait for exposition, but the moments far and few between, you can actually skip a lot of the lore and stuff, which I frankly don't care about. I'm in hell. I'm killing things. I don't care what my purpose is. I'm a guy with a gun and I'm having fun. Exactly 2 weeks from tomorrow, RWBY Volume 5 premieres. Yeah, that's gonna be great. I'm happy that the donate button is still a thing. Somewhat. Golly. Yeah, DBZ Bridge is always something that's gonna be great to look forward to. What do you think about Oscar's role will be in RWBY and beyond? Okay, remember, Miraculous, me and names are pretty bad. If we're talking about the kid that Ozpin's currently residing in, because that's the first thing that came to my mind when it comes to Oscar. You gotta confirm that with me. If it's someone else, tell me who that other person is. Walking Dead games opinions, I think they're really good. There are certain nitpicks I can have about them, but the first Walking Dead game was fantastic. Lee is one of my favorite main characters in video games for obvious reasons. Second season, taking control of Clementine and having to still basically be her Lee, of steering her down the right path and protecting her by making right decisions as her. So I found that to be like a good like meta-esque way of thinking that Lee is still around even though he's dead, and sort of stuff. So I thought that was good. The technical season 3 where you still see Clementine and you got Javier and stuff like that, it was good. However, I wish they didn't force that little other thing, I don't even want to call him a boy, down my neck, down my throat, about how they want to have this unspoken thing where Clementine had this. Are you serious? I knew as soon as Clementine started to talk to him, like, why? And I know, I'm probably being that dude. She's a growing woman. She can like whoever she wants. However, I can control her. And I say that she doesn't want to be with them. She doesn't want to be with him. I'm gonna let you guys know there is a way to kill that kid. And I played throughout the entire game the first time, and he was still alive. And then I deliberately restarted the entire game just so I can kill him off. I'm sorry. I did not want Clementine going after. No, none of that. I'm not about that life. She's my baby, and I'm taking care of her my way. I can't be a parent. Amazing Survivor, Ganto, Muck. Which one is your favorite between those pure poison types? Muck. Because in theory, in real life, he's actually pretty unbeatable. Plus, you know, I actually like him, and since I'm a huge Kanto fan, in the old series of Pokemon, having Muck being one of Ash's Pokemon really clicked as well, so I'm kind of biased. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. As soon as I heard Oscar, okay, what I expect to see from him is just knowing more about like his purpose and stuff, like what Ozpin is planning to do. Is Ozpin slowly gonna seep into this kid's like subconscious or something, or is the conscious gonna become the kid? Is he like a vessel to become another vessel at some point? Like, I want to know more about it, unless that's already been explained and I just didn't pay attention too well, because you know that could happen. But I just want to see what Oscar's like purpose is. I feel like cartoons are going down a dark path, but I feel like it won't. But I really don't know why. Is the new Justice League show is only being shown on a Saturday morning? No kids nowadays. Yep. Yeah, and here's the thing: the Justice League. If we're talking about Justice League action, I actually think that's a really good show. It's like Teen Titans, but with the Justice League for DC. Yeah, it's like the Justice League, but like for DC. Teen Titans were great because they had Robin, and you can say that Batman's technically like the leader right next to Batman, as per usual when it comes to Justice League. Yeah, I liked how it was like another way of saying, hey, we don't have Teen Titans, but we can give you another DC-related property that involves great characters coming together and forming a team to fight bad guys, and they're kind of teenagers in a way, because their design really scream off like way younger than we're used to, right? So if that's their way of doing that, I found that interesting. But again, if they're mishandling it, they clearly don't care, and that ticks me off, because I remember my reactions to it and I really enjoyed myself. Kirby also revealed in Germany that Ruby and Weiss are actually based on the main characters from Fairy Tail, Snow White and Rose Red, a fairy tale where Snow White I misread your I misread your comment. Thanks to my dyslexia, I read main characters from Fairy Tail. I've completely missed the I missed the. I'm like, they based them off anime characters from a subpar average anime. What? Who? How? And then it's okay. I saw the and then you're like Snow White and the Red Rose, Rose Red, a fairy tale where Snow White and Red Riding Hood are sisters. I heard about that, and I find that really interesting. I find that really good. It's a nice dynamic, definitely. So yeah, I like that. That's interesting. A bit of trivia. Marvel and Clementine don't mix well. They don't. They don't. Just feel like a complete loser. She's too nice to. Yeah, she's way too nice. Way too nice. And if you go the route and you make sure, because is it really spoilers to talk about it? Because I kind of do. This is the thing that happens if you kill off Gabriel and stuff. It's just like the thing that you probably would do if their relationship got a little bit too heated. She could really get like an infection from that, can she not? So I'm like, Clem, you're a growing girl. I appreciate that. And I hate the fact that I'm Javier, that I can't take control of you, and I can only take control of you in the flashback scenes that really hold no other weight than to know that AJ's still alive. Sweet. Cool. Alright. Sure. Why not? But not to say that Javier wasn't good to play as. Javier was actually a pretty good protagonist. I thought he was alright. He's not as good as Lee, but still an alright dude. But yeah, Clementine, having not have full control over her and not even actually benefiting her in like a very big, meaningful way that I even believe that Kenny did at the end of season 2, sort of did for me. It was like, So I can't wait until season 4 comes out, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna play as Clementine. And if they're gonna do this whole cycle thing where it's like, main character Clementine, other main character Clementine, then other main character, it's okay as long as I have my Clementine, and when I say I don't want her to do this, she cannot do it because she's still technically my character that I'm trying to build up in my own story due to Telltale saying they have a story. Okay, so if it's hard for me to get her to stop liking a boy who clearly is Clementine is way too good for Gabriel. So yeah, no. I killed Kenny in season 2 because he was losing his so killing would set free from all those world of zombies. Also, Sean is at various times. See, here's the thing about season 2. As soon as I saw Kenny again, and I flipped my wad when I saw Kenny again, because I honestly thought he died when trying to save the dude in season 1. I was honestly upset. Like, I started to really like Kenny because he was going through some major crap, and I was feeling for him and stuff. And when I saw him again, I'm like, Clementine, Kenny, boom, season 1 veterans. We're gonna go through these things together. And as soon as I saw that he was apparently losing his mind or something like that, I believed in Kenny. I believed in him. I didn't care how deep he went. He was doing everything. Everything that he was doing was for the sake so he wouldn't have to lose another person who reminded him of Duck. And while you can say, okay, you can clearly see his mental capacity is out of there because he called you Duck that one time, it's like he only sees you as a family member he doesn't want to lose. And as soon as I put myself in that shoes, I'm like, I believe in you, Kenny. I believe in you. And after getting shot in the shoulder, I'm like, okay, I love no one else but Kenny because at least he didn't hurt me. At least not intentionally. Alright? So like that's it. And as soon as there was a moment where I had to shoot him or let him kill the girl, I'm like, I just sat there and let him do it. Sat there and let him do it. And as soon as I saw that the baby was still alive, I'm like, she deserved to die. You don't leave a baby in a car in a freezing Arctic tundra where there is walking zombies. You don't do that. So, okay. I was perfectly fine with Kenny's mental state, and I was happy that I went with the ending of him achieving his goal of bringing Clementine to the thing with the wall, and having Kenny go out in the world. I know he's probably dead at this point since they already killed him off in one of the scenarios in 3, but in my story, Kenny is probably still out there fighting like a baller, or if he wanted to give up, he had his chance to give up. like that. I don't want to know the fate of Kenny on my own eyes, especially knowing in one case it's my fault. So I'm happy that I picked that choice, and seeing that if Kenny's still out there somewhere, even if I never see him again, my mindset says that I set Kenny free to do whatever he wanted to do. He achieved his goal of protecting someone he cared about. That's my thing. Do you think that Ruby and Oscar will form a close friendship? If you think about it, Ruby and Oscar already have quite a few things in common. You haven't met just yet. Clearly they do. It's set off on this sort of like, oh my god, look at this thing, journey, destiny, oh my lord, because things happened in your life that are weird. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Having them have a friendship, having this like pseudo weird feeling that since Ozpin's inside the kid, kind of interesting. See that dynamic. I can't wait to see what happens when they meet each other. I'm okay. Rose lips. I'm doing fine. Got work tomorrow, so can't stay for too long. Since Oscar has met Crow at the end of season 4, it's highly likely they will meet in premiere of season 5. Premiere is up there. I would rather they add or see somewhere in like not the mid portions, but somewhere in between the area of beginning and mid portions. Because seeing the premiere, it all depends on how the premiere is supposed to be structured. It really depends. We'll see. Probably the end of the episode, maybe. Because it's supposed to be like a big reveal kind of thing. I wouldn't expect them to show him like in the middle of an episode and be like, this seems like a thing that should have like, this seems like an encounter that I expected to have more hype put into it. You know? But if they threw me for a loop and don't do it, it's not that bad. Just, you know, I'm expecting it. At least a friend her age, since I was just 2 years older than her. Ruby seems like the type of character who doesn't care about age. Granted, I do agree with the whole friends her age element of the friendship dynamic that Oscar and her can have. But, like, Ruby, despite her small appearance, I always see her as one of the most mature characters in the show. Ironic to say, considering that she's done plenty of things that warrant the fact that she's not a mature person. You're not that late. It's only an hour and 37. I mean, Jane had a point to make. It was extreme case, but Kenny was. Nope. In my opinion, she took that chance. In my opinion, Kenny. I love Kenny, and I was loyal to him because of the fact that I loved him in season 1, and I saw him in season 2. I saw his mental stability. Jane, put yourself in the shoes of a zombie apocalypse. You have a baby, which is another way of trying to save humanity by constantly trying to procreate, and not to mention that you made a promise in a sense to keep this baby alive and safe. Kenny even saved the baby from the mom who turned into a walker in right before that, because he doesn't hesitate. That type of mind is a thing you gotta look into in the zombie apocalypse. Having a sane mind is one thing, but Kenny's mind was so warped and jaded. It's more like having a war veteran during war times. He knows what he's doing. He's so desensitized on certain things that you kind of need someone like that, because if you have a person who thinks too much, you're gonna turn into a person that you don't want to be. When I saw them go to in the Jane route, and you basically become the new dude. You basically become the new person who basically wants to like run order on stuff. That's what I got from that ending. And even though in season 3 they kind of retconned it to the point where you always get to the certain point for Clementine, I didn't want Clementine to become a person who had to dictate other people's like ways. I just want her to be safe in the walls of things. I didn't know how season 3 was going to be, so let's keep that out of the way and how season 3 happened. Kenny, if you really psychoanalyze him, he had nothing wrong with him, really. Like, really nothing wrong with him in the sense that he's going mentally insane. He gets angry. That's his thing. People get angry in terms of an apocalyptic setting, but yet he is still the most calm-minded dude out of the whole entire bunch. Because the guy, what's his name? The guy who didn't speak English, and you had the option to take his medicine or something like that. No matter what you do, if you take his medicine or you don't take his medicine, you don't do this, you don't do that, he's going to hate you regardless because of what you did to him and what his situation turned out to be. So Kenny having a little rough love on the guy, I understood it. This dude ran over the river bed dealio when we already told him like 100 times that we weren't going to do anything unless he did something bad. Now, here's the thing. Omid. Yeah, I think that was his name. Like, for... No matter how bad it got, so what's Kenny's excuse? Kenny's excuse is that his way of calm is the way of not being calm. Like, he's aggressive. You have to have an aggressive person in the times of zombie apocalypse. If you're always happy-go-lucky. Even Lee had his times where he snapped on people. Lee always had a lot of times where he snapped on people. Just because you probably picked the option where he didn't mean that he never had an option where he was really defensive, especially when it comes to Clementine and what he does. What's the difference between Lee going out of his way to choke to death this one guy because they stole Clementine, and Kenny doing the same thing because he thought the person that he left the custody of a baby to, and intentionally actually left the baby alone to either get taken up by a walker somewhere, die in forms of coldness, because babies don't really do well in the blistering colds, and all that. When I saw that the baby was fine and that she did this on purpose, I'm like, yes, Kenny's in the right in this, and there's nothing anyone can say that can stop me on that. I wouldn't do that to prove a point. And Kenny was right. If she wanted to stop the fact of her dying, all she had to do was say the baby's still alive. Kenny would have stopped, and I believe Kenny would have stopped. You have no proof that he would not have stopped. That he would not have stopped. And so, in my opinion, unless she didn't pull up if she was crying the baby was still alive and then Kenny was still trying to kill her, then yes, I would say that Kenny's mental stability was out of whack, because you didn't give her a chance to prove the fact that the baby was still okay. Yeah, it's like, that's just sort of thing. No, you need to be calm and in times of drama and tragedy. Tell that to every person on the planet being eaten by walkers and stuff. You still have people constantly doing things that are so stupid in the zombie apocalypse. At least Kenny thinks about his things before immediately going to it. I have yet to find one moment where Kenny was technically in the wrong when trying to do something. Protecting you wasn't in the wrong. Trying to protect everyone he loved wasn't in the wrong. Blaming you for like probably the death of one of his loved ones, but immediately forgiving you and realizing how stupid he was for doing that. Protecting you by taking the walkie-talkie from the guy from Waterman or whatever the heck his name was, so he could take the punishment and not you. That was sweet of him. And a lot of other different things that he has done to protect you and try to protect everyone that he probably could definitely does not warrant the fact. Did he kill someone? Unknowingly. Did he kill someone unknowingly? Did he put anyone in actual harms and danger for the sake of his own thing? I don't get it. Paranoia. What kind of paranoia? He went through some stuff. If you lost all your family members and had to kill 2 of them at least, if you almost killed 2 of them at least, you would probably go through some stuff too. You can't just say, "All right, I'm gonna be calm. I just killed my dog. I just killed my son. It's fine. It's fine." You can't help it. Yeah, thank you, Silent Wolf. You can't help paranoia. Paranoia happens. You get hit by a car, and then when when you get hit by a car because you didn't even pay attention to the street light, and then you get traumatized because you got hit by a car, you're not gonna immediately disregard what just happened and just continue to walk through the street without looking both ways. You don't do that. That's not how your mind works. You can't avoid paranoia. Paranoia will come to you. I missed some things arguing about this. I'm sorry. Is Ozpin the Avatar? I don't know. If Oscar and Ruby start liking each other, how do you think Crow and Ozpin would react? I don't know. I don't want to think about that because I have a OTP for Ruby, and then that's something I don't want to think about. During the panel in Germany that Ruby Rose's birthday is on Halloween. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. Honestly, I trusted Kenny because rednecks are pretty much zombie apocalypse experts. I believe that. Kenny has his ups and downs, a lot more downs than ups, but when his ups a lot more downs and ups, but sometimes his ups can outweigh the downs. The ups will be forms of quality, while the downs will be forms of quantity. He stumbles, but he never falters. Like I was good enough to Kenny for him to help me out at the end of season 1, and he was a real good friend. He even protected a dude he really thought was not unredeemable and saved him and put him out of his misery before he had to be eaten by walkers. And I was happy about that. Seeing him again just like put me with so much joy. I saw the mental problems that he probably had, but after really delving deep and looking at everything he's done throughout the entirety of that season, I really can't say that he was a bad guy. I really couldn't. Definitely lurking, someone to snap you out of it and do. That person's Kenny. A lot of Kenny supporters. I like that. And again, and for the people who think that Kenny is this unredeemable guy because apparently he's mind stricken or something like that, I can't say you're not wrong. Endanger everyone else. What? How many people did he endanger with his actions? Last time I checked, the whole scenario with the Omid thing. Wait, was it Omid? It was a guy who couldn't talk. I think I don't know his name. The guy who couldn't speak English. That wasn't Kenny's fault. The part in Rich, the thing with the Watterson dude, the crazy guy that Kenny bashed his face in. That guy wasn't his fault last time I checked. It was completely on the fault of the people that Clementine was hanging around with, and Kenny just happened to try to do his best to help the scenario. Another thing, what did he do to endanger others? What did he do? Put up all the scenarios and tell me all the things that he himself was responsible for doing. Like, really. The only thing that you can ever say was the final act, and that was warranted given the fact that she asked for it. She literally put the baby in the car and asked Kenny to try to kill her. Like, what? At least do it. No, I can't even say at least. I cannot defend that. What would have happened if the baby died? What would she do if you chose to kill Kenny and the baby died? What would you do? Knowing that it was his fault, her fault. Like, put up all the scenarios in your head. Arvo? What happened with Arvo? Okay, that's his name. Arvo? What happened with Arvo? We meet Arvo. I didn't take his meds. His people came out. And then the baby was about to get killed by the situation was not being handled by any means, by anyone saying anything, even Arvo's like little height, like anything. They were gonna kill us regardless. And Kenny saved the baby because the mom was about to turn into a walker and kill it. So how was that Kenny's fault saving the baby? How was that Kenny's fault? He just saved the baby. He just saved the life that will grow up to probably be, again, a better thing. It's like, again, the situation wasn't handled. It's not like they said, okay, we understand, nothing did wrong, we're leaving. And then Kenny shoots something out of nowhere and then it caused a ruckus. That was acting out of trying to save someone. He saw that she was dead. I was gonna shoot her. As Clementine, I was gonna shoot her in the head. And then I would be the problem, apparently. What would be the problem of Kenny if I'm the one who shot her in the head? Alright. Arvo ran across the river when we clearly state no running, so he already disobeyed that thing, and frankly, I don't know why we couldn't even find a way around. That's just a fault on everyone's side, in my opinion. And the last thing with Arvo deserved punishment for putting everyone in danger. Someone lost their life because of Arvo. Last time I checked. If I'm really putting in scenarios of him running and jumping the gun on the scenario where we already told him not to run. And even though I told Kenny to stop and he stopped, even after he saw that he was going to harm me, that sort of deal. And Arvo shot me in the shoulder. Take it. By never calming the tension? How are they going to calm the tension with people they can't understand and Arvo wasn't really helping in the scenario? At all. Do you honestly believe the theory of Crow is Ruby's father? I personally am really tired of theory. I really like the idea of Crow just being a really cool uncle. I like it being a really cool uncle too. I don't see why they would suspect that he's the dad. Granted, she, hair color and stuff and, family relationship of being an uncle, but I don't see why would he call him the uncle and not a dad? Like, what's the significance of him calling himself an uncle and not a dad? Like, I don't see it. Never said that. Never said that my OTP was Ruby and John. Never said that. Never said that. I don't know where you got that from. You're funny, Miraculous. You think you know me. You think I'm that jaded. No. That one-sided, I guess. Could use Arvo as a translator. That guy who clearly was not convincing his friends to stop. And in the end, it even wasn't everyone else's fault. Last time, I think it was, what's her name's fault? What's her name's fault? And, you know, the chick who left the baby in the car, I think it was her fault for actually threatening Arvo to begin with. I think if Clementine was by herself and with Arvo, none of this would have happened. Because as Clementine is a passively, a pacifist person, seeing Arvo being this not aggressive guy would have talked him out of putting the gun down and just would have left. None of this would have happened. It was all her fault. So try to defend her on that. Because if it wasn't for her, Arvo wouldn't be that hostile, wouldn't he? And Kenny, he was just doing what he did to protect the baby in a situation that wasn't getting calmed down no matter what side, either side was doing. Kenny did, hashtag Kenny did nothing wrong. The dude suffered a horrible injury on it, probably never using his eye again for us. I'm pretty sure that warrants some points of saying he could probably save a baby. Yeah. I think I got a comment not too long ago about My Hero Academia. Season 3 is coming out not too long. Referring to when Kenny smashed Carl's head in with salt block back in season 1. Yes, I get that. Yeah, but that again, okay, you got me there. But that season 1 Kenny, who was still trying to understand the intricate nuances of trying to be, you know, a calmer in the scenarios. Granted, I cannot. Okay, on my first playthrough, I helped Kenny. I know what you're about to say. Now I'm just like Kenny, so I'm kind of biased in the sense that I actually agree with what Kenny was trying to say. Mostly because I also didn't like him. I didn't like the guy. I didn't like him. He was a douchebag. I hate douchebags in Zombie Apocalypse. They kind of just don't. He didn't think rationally. He constantly blamed me for everything because of my past. He wasn't helping any kind of scenario, no matter how many people I was helping in his line of sight. I even gave him the douche food. And guess how he acted. Hate him. And Kenny tried to give him food. He's like, did Duck get some first? Caring about his family first. Love him. All right. So it's like, trying really hard to get Kenny in a bad light with me. All right. But when I played it again and tried to save him, I understood that he was almost about to come back to life. And I did have to admit that Kenny did kind of jump the gun. And even I jumped the gun, and I have to regret that, obviously. So yeah, I will blame Kenny for that. But that's season 1. We're really referring to season 2 here. Because season 1 Kenny is like Kenny still in his right mind of trying to protect his family and trying to be there for his family. Until, you know, things went down. And then he had to kill his family. So that sort of thing. Do you think Oscar and John would get along? How do you think John would react to Ospen being inside Oscar's head? Do you think he would confuse Oscar for actually being Ospen? I don't know. John seems to be the type of guy who's kind of in a mental state of trying to understand life right now. You know, the fact of pure and whatnot. So I'm afraid he might try to use Oscar as a way to only talk to Ozpin, as a way of like answers of what happened to Pyrrha. I don't think John's that deep, but you definitely seen some times in the previous volume that he just went off on people who were involved in the fact that what Pyrrha had to go through. So it really depends. Why is Jane and glorify Kenny? Because Jane was overactive and she had sex with a guy when the guy was supposed to be having a lookout for the area, and then she kills herself because she got pregnant from the guy she had unprotected sex with. And on my life, I've always complained, if you're going to do something that's purely conscious for the sake of your own pleasure, and then kill yourself because you got the negative connotations of only doing something for yourself, you will not have my sympathy, because it was all 100% your doing. Like, you could have not have done it, and you would not have killed yourself, left Clementine alone, probably mentally scar her for seeing you kill yourself because you were positive for being pregnant from the guy that you willingly had sex with. He did not force yourself. He did not force himself on you. You said you were going to do it. Leave, come back, and then constantly do things that you think is right because you have a hunch. Yeah, I'm gonna demonize Jane as much as possible because Jane isn't that good of a character that I think you're thinking that she is, if you really think about it. But Kenny, all that he has done and all that he's ever been doing is trying to protect people. Sure, he may go off the handle, but who doesn't in a zombie apocalypse? Who doesn't do these things when the world is so crappy already? It's like I cannot see Jane as a figure. I will appreciate her teaching Clementine the best way to kill a walker, like hit the leg and hitting down. Combat-wise, Jane is smart, but thinking, not so much in the sense of that entire scenario of the domino effect of having sex, getting pregnant, realizing that was stupid, and then killing yourself. Kenny, I don't get it. No matter how much life bashed him, no matter how much life destroyed him, he kept moving forward because he had people he wanted to protect. That's what's in my mind right now, and I have yet seen any proof that showed that he wanted to put anyone in actual danger because he wanted to get a good buck off himself. No. Do you think Oscar is both the wizard and Dorothy? Eli fans say that Oscar is Dorothy since he live in his hut, live with his aunt on a farm, and the first person he meets was the scarecrow. I mean, if we're gonna go with the fairy tale stuff and like other things like that and stuff like that, it's good. I never really called Crow the Scarecrow until I realized that yes, since he is a crow and scarecrows, that makes sense now. So who's the lion and who's the Tin Man? I really want to know. The only Tin Man would probably be the dude with the robotic enhancements on his arm, on his like left or right side of his body. I can probably see that. The lion. The lion. Tell me who the lion is. I had to realize that most of the shows I watch have super long hiatuses. I'm slowly killing myself with all this waiting. Yeah, that's what's happening now. It's no longer trying to pull out a show for the sake of entertainment randomly just to show pretty colors and then get your paycheck. They have to think about the story, do the animation right, and get all the stuff perfectly so they can keep a coherency and keep things alive that way. But that calls for hiatuses since it takes more than a week to do that. So yeah, it does kind of suck that sort of thing's happening nowadays, and maybe hopefully in the future we'll get like shows that takes less time to make but are also still good in forms of quality. But until that day comes, we're gonna have to just kind of deal with the hiatus on those type of shows. Anyone only cares about having a perfect family and nothing else. What about like what? Having a perfect family? What? Why would he marry a country bumpkin and also have a kid who constantly talks off the storm and does nothing but annoy him in certain senses and get himself into trouble and consider that a perfect family? I think you're really blowing Kenny's mindset out of proportion. He just wants a family. It doesn't have to be perfect. If he wanted a perfect family, he wouldn't care about anyone else once his true family died and he killed his wife. And not he killed his wife, killed his son after seeing that his wife killed herself because she didn't want to kill her son. That would desensitize me wanting a perfect family and not caring about anyone else in life, no matter what connections I go along with. The lodge is proof of that with Christmas tree. What? What about the Christmas tree that proves that he wants a perfect family? What about that? When you lost her, when you lost the chick, he was mad. Who wouldn't be? Someone you love died. And then he didn't blame you anymore after a while passed and he realized it was stupid to blame it on you. He even says you did what you could, and I understand. And then you help him out, and then he helps you. You're taking one scenario while Jane had a lot of other scenarios that truly showed that she also wasn't a perfect character. And you're taking these one scenarios of these one moments of this one person's character and thinking that's all his character is and not looking beyond what he means in those scenarios. When I saw Jane deliberately have sex and then deliberately kill herself when she found out she was pregnant in season 3, all I saw was selfishness. When I see Kenny blaming you for the death of somebody, he wants a life that he can't have. He wants... If that's the case, then why did he suggest to leave Clementine at the place he wanted to be to? He didn't, like, say, I'm not leaving here unless I'm going in there with Clementine and AJ. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna be this very overactive antagonist to you, even though I am now gonna waste the chance of Clementine and AJ having a life together. Like you are not with Jane? What? What do you mean, like, why I'm not with Jane? I'm only pointing out why I'm saying Jane isn't, like, a great character to say that she deserves all this praise that she has for what she does. I'm only just doing my stance. I didn't like Jane as a character, so obviously I'm gonna put her in the negative light because I can't see her in a positive light. I see nothing but positivity in Kenny's life, but I am also pointing out all the faults that Kenny does have. But his faults are in quantity, while his ups are in quality. You gotta look past it. I can't look past what Jane did because I can only see it through face value. She didn't explain any other reason when she killed herself. Not even a friggin' suicide note. And Salem is the Wicked Witch of the West. I can see that. That was obvious. I'm not patient enough. Kenny only cares about a family. He didn't cause a ruckus. You take small bad moment of her out of proportions. Small bad moment out of proportions. Having a conscious decision to have sex with a guy is a small moment. And then killing yourself because of the consequences of that is also a small moment. Antagonizing a character, even though he's pretty much really safe. He has a freaking broken leg, for God's sakes. Like, what can he do to you just lunging at him, taking his stuff, threatening him, and leaving, coming back, leaving again, telling you that the best way to live life with people is to give up on them. I had a sister, and I had to do this sort of thing. I felt for her on that. That's sad. But I didn't want to give up on this character because she felt as though she lost everything. Sucked that Telltale made it so she died anyway, so it sucks. Basically putting, she's a great survivalist, but not a great person. That's what my view is to Jane. She's a great survivalist. She knows how to kill walkers. She knows how to survive in wildlife. She knows how to handle herself. But when it comes to choices, when it comes to being with other people, definitely not the right choices that happen. Kenny has shown to be good in both. Which faults. Good characters aren't flawless. There we go. That's another great quote. That's a great quote from anyone who says that. Good characters aren't flawless. It's the flaws that make them good characters. And as for Jane, some of the flaws has outweighed some of the things that she actually accomplished, like with Kenny, like I said. What makes her a good character? Her survivalist skills. Her teaching Clementine how to better herself, kind of like when Lee had to cut her hair because knowing that zombie would try to grab at it, thanks to what's this Mr. Hobo Face in season 1 telling him about it. That made sense. I like that. And same thing, teaching her how to take down walkers easily taught her a better skill to take out walkers. I will admit, without Jane, Clementine would not be as ruthless as she was in season 3 if she didn't learn the skills that Jane has given to her. But again, with the whole she's a jaded, cynical I don't know what nihilist is. I don't know about Perfect Family. I don't know about Perfect Family. What I got from him is that he wanted to be a better father. He wanted a fresh start with AJ because he screwed up with Duck. I believe that. and you see where his boundaries are, that he'll go as far as to like make sure that he's safe because a person puts him in danger. And he thought that she killed him. He under her care, he thought AJ died. He went into a rage fit. And granted, it's not like she wasn't really helping the case of constantly antagonizing him throughout the entirety of the game, even when they're in a car together, which is like it's like my mom and dad back in their old times where they couldn't get along very much. So now they're really okay with each other now. It's like, you don't argue when you're in a car. That's bad. That was a random tangent. But like the moment where you get to the Richmond or something, I think it's Richmond or something, and you get to the wall, he could have been that antagonistic side and just be like, I'm not leaving unless I'm going in with AJ and Clementine. But instead, he says, Clementine, we're here. Go. Please. I cried. I'm like, you did it, Kenny. You said you wanted to do this from the very start, and you did it. And you know what? This looks like safety to me. And guess what? It was, until I'm gonna guess the crew that's the main antagonist in 3 showed up. So nothing on Kenny's fault on that. But Kenny did it. And he said, I'm going to now leave, and I'm gonna face this world alone. As long as I know you two are safe, I'm fine. That got me. That's what I got from that moment. But you could also choose to stay with Kenny. And Kenny would just be just as happy, because if you want to go with the whole perfect family thing or being a better father figure, he then achieves that. Because he was so much of a good person toward Clementine, Clementine wanted to stay with her along with AJ. And he taught her how to drive. And the fault of Kenny's death was on you, in a way. If I remember correctly on that flashback. But really, like, Kenny, right now, I really can't see him in a bad light. I really can't. Is Whis brother a good guy or a bad guy? If it's anything like Icon, in which he reminds me, he's definitely in between the middle. I'm sorry for getting riled up. Just my thoughts. I respect being a Team Kenny, a Team Jane. Yeah, it's fine. This was never a thing of trying to stop you from liking Jane, and I'm guessing your attempts to say about Kenny's flaws was trying to make me stop liking Kenny. It's our opinions. It's very hard to change another person's opinion, especially when they had their own experience with said character, and they got what they got from that character when they played the game. I respect your opinion on liking Jane too. I got to admit, my first playthrough, I liked Jane until we got to like episode 5, and then I just thought about all the things Jane has done, and then I thought about all the things Kenny has done, because that is a very pivotal moment. The reason why I like Telltale and what they did with those 3 endings is they really wanted to make you pause and take in all the things the character's done, and then you forge your own opinion on the character for your final decision. Because killing a person, someone had to die there, and for me, that wasn't Kenny. So, yeah. And for you, it was Kenny, and you had your reasons for that too. I'm not mad at you for it. I'm just telling you my reasons for saving Kenny. That was it. We all have our own counter arguments for our own things. Like, that's it. Doesn't the player make the game? Technically, yeah. In Telltale, you make your story. Granted, some portions are linearer than others, but for Season 2, I think I like Season 2 is the best because it really had, like, branching story arcs. Even after you make, like, a pivotal decision, you still have the decision to make another decision of an ending. I remember if you kill Kenny and then see the truth what Jane did with the baby, you could hate what she did and then leave Jane alone, thus giving you the loner side of Clementine, but you still have Jane out there and she's still alive, and you can kill Jane, you can let Kenny kill Jane, then kill Kenny, and then you have both of them dead. And I don't think there's a way. I'm not sure if there's a way for you to save Kenny and then leave Kenny behind. I'm not sure. Wait, yes, there is. There is the whole being with Kenny and then going into Richmond, and Kenny just leaves. See, you have endings that correspond to each one's particular interests. You can either leave, you either hate them both, have her be alone, but also probably have one still stay alive, or you can kill them both and just have her be alone, or you can just be with one. I love that. That's good way. That's a good way to do multiple endings, because it makes you think about each and every ending, even though there's like mainly 3, but with added twists into it with extra background details. I love Telltale for that. I just wish they kind of did the same thing with Season 3, I didn't get that feeling of like multiple different ending pathways of things that happened, really. Do you think Crow will teach Oscar to fight? What about Ruby? You know she's too safe, so maybe her uncle can help train both her and Oscar in combat. Yeah, I can see that. See, the whole thing with Oscar is like right now he's so untapped potential that anything is possible at this point. I just need to see how the character of him is going to be structured, because I need to see more of him actually, more impactful moments that he has. What? BATIM? I remember hearing DA Game song at the end of a few of your reactions. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Okay, again, it's always that acronym of Bendy and the Ink Machine. I'm still trying to get used to it. It's not like FNAF. That one's obvious, but like this is I'm still trying to get used to it. But yeah, Bendy and the Ink Machine. I've said this before. It's an interesting series. I find it entertaining. It's a lot better in lots of cases than the FNAF series when it comes to episode structure. At least you're walking around and figuring stuff out on your own due to the environment and other things that's going on. And the fact that there's an actual story to it instead of putting every single piece together on your own. It's a good series. The DA games made, just like how the Living Tombstone made the quintessential theme, you could say, for Five Nights at Freddy's with his song. DA Games made the quintessential theme for Bendy and the Ink Machine with his song, and it was so good they even put it in the game, which was awesome. And the development cycle of it is definitely improving. I can't wait until they see what more they do with it. It's a good series. Whew. But yeah, I think it's almost time to end this off. Went on a little rant of characters and series that I haven't played in a while actually, and other sorts of things, but I think this is about it. Yeah, I can probably see Oscar just like at least being there at some point. Yeah, I can't wait until it shows up. I'm gonna be on top of that like immediately. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. Wait, I'm on Team Clementine. I made into a ball of sass. Sort of the same, gotta say. Kind of made her like into a little character that just sassing up the place. I do like some of the scumbag options. Surely do. Like those are always fun. But I never like to hinder other people. Like if they want help, I'll help them. That sort of deal. But yeah. This stream is gonna end. This is a nice one. Oh, jeez. See if I can get some other stuff before the day is through and before I have to get to work soon. Let's see if I can try to get to sleep at 8. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. So this is me ending the stream. I hope you guys can make it for next Friday's streams, and hopefully this becomes like such a thing that people know to tune in on Friday, at least somewhere around 5-ish, and stuff. So yeah, this is Do You Want to Be Universe. Hope you guys enjoy the stream in some way, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully the Rick and Morty reactions come out as fast as I possibly can make them come out. Bye.